Should you be networking when you're not in a job search? And how is networking different when you just want to network and not after making a connection for another role? Hi, I'm Allie Knoll. I'm a recovering recruiter, and these were a couple of questions that were given to me last week in person at a networking event by my dear friend Paramita. So Paramita, this one's for you. This conversation came about after hearing that these TikTok videos are making a great impression on a lot of people. So thank you so much for everybody that likes and shares them. That being said, not everybody's in a career search. And I get that. Networking principles still apply. Make sure that you have an intro, who you are, how you can help or why you're there. Make sure you have an extro, how to leave the situation with your contact details or make another connection so the individual can scooch on to somebody else. And make sure that you've got something to connect with the person, either the QR code for your LinkedIn, a business card, an email address, anything that you can share to get that conversation reignited after the fact. Networking doesn't have to be about having some sort of end goal. It could also just be for making great friends, making great colleagues. In smaller areas, smaller municipalities, networking actually exists because there's so many of us that are in the same industry. You will find a lot of the repeat offenders showing up to these events and making connections for you. So when you go to events and you don't really have a purpose and you think networking, it's not really going to be for me, it absolutely will. Just get connected to somebody new. If you make a goal to meet with somebody, one new person every time that you go, if you go to 1 month or one meetup a month, you've got at least 12 new people that you can count on as people in your sphere. How this affects online, anytime that you have a new connection made through LinkedIn, you get connected to all of their connections as a secondary. So you've now gone from a sphere of about, 500 people to a sphere of maybe 50,000 people because of how many secondary and tertiary connections you've made from that one person. Why is this important? Again, I'm going to talk about recruitment, and I'm sorry, but passive candidacy. So passive candidacy is when there's an opportunity that presents itself from word of mouth, typically through networking, which is why we talk about it so much. Because this opportunity will not make it onto the job boards. It will be filled before that opportunity even exists. And how do you find out about a passive job that's coming through or a passive candidate? You talk to people. You find out, oh, hey, I hear that Henry is hiring for his lab tech. Maybe we should go talk to him. Or do you happen to know lab tech that could come in and work for Henry? All of these great things happen because of networking. It's who you know, not what you know when it comes to networking. So that being said, why is it super important in October and why is it important this week? It is Small Business Week in Edmonton and in Calgary. So Alberta is filled with lots of opportunities, lots of events, and small business people are going to be there. Why should you pay attention with this? Small business makes up over 90% of the economy in Alberta, which means that at least 9 people out of 10 that work for a small business. There could be some rare side effects for that, but anytime that there's a small business, it's usually fewer than 50 people that are employed there. And because we are the heart and soul of the Alberta economy, we're going to have lots of opportunities and mostly passive ones available. If you're networking for a job, great. If you're not networking for a job, always be listening for opportunities that you can connect other people with. And if you're really not in it for anything other than networking, then thank you very much for being a super connector like me. Happy hunting!